2 outs, bottom of the ninth, tie game. The crowd cheered as I stepped to the plate. My heart pounded. But then, everything went silent. The ball seemed to move in slow motion as it hurtled toward me. I swung as hard as I could. Crack! The ball sailed high into the sky and over the fence for the game-winning homer. The crowd erupted as I rounded the bases. I was living every boy's dream. Only I wasn't a boy. And that's not how my dream ended. My twin brother, Aiden, and I loved baseball. We'd practice every day for hours, pretending we were the announcers calling each other's plays. There's a hot shot to Adrian. Oh, what a play! The throw to first? She got him! What a play by Adrian! Baseball bonded us. I dreamed someday we'd get to play on the same team. When we turned 7, my mom signed Aiden up for the Little League, but I could only be on a softball team because I was a girl. I mean, it was kind of fun, but it just wasn't the same. I missed playing with Aiden. I asked him if he wanted to play catch on the weekends, but he was always too tired from Little League practice. When we got to junior high, Aiden made the boys' team and I went to softball tryouts. I was the best player on the field that day. I pitched and struck out every batter I faced. The coach even pulled me aside to tell me how impressive I was, that I threw much harder than any softball pitcher he'd seen. In fact, it was a lot like a fast-pitch baseball, which is why I can't put you on the team. It just isn't safe for the other girls. Wait, what started as a compliment turned into me being cut from the team? I told him I didn't have to pitch, I could just hit. But he said I also hit the ball too hard. Why don't you go watch your brother play baseball? I'm sure he'd love the support. While I wanted to watch Aiden play, it was too painful not being able to play myself. Instead, I just went to the park and practiced throwing a tennis ball against a wall, alone. At dinner, listening to Aiden's stories about all the amazing plays he made that day just made me sadder and madder. Without our baseball bond, we started to grow apart. The weekend before high school started, my family and I went to a birthday party at our cousin's house. After lunch, everyone grabbed their gloves for a pickup game. This was the first time Aiden and I played in a baseball game together in years. It was so much fun. I even hit 2 doubles off my cousin Luke, who plays on the varsity team. Nighttime came and the fun ended. As we were packing up, Luke patted me on the back. Adrian, you can ball. You should totally try out for the baseball team. Aiden chuckled, my parents chuckled, even I chuckled. When we got home, I put my glove back in the closet and went to bed. But as I tried to sleep, I couldn't stop thinking about what Luke said. I got up and found my dad in the living room. Dad, I think I want to try out for the baseball team. He chuckled again. This time, I snapped. Stop laughing! It's not funny. You saw me play. I'm just as good as Aiden, if not better. In fact, I'm better than all the guys that played. It's not fair. I stormed off to bed. I always had a bit of a temper, and hitting a baseball was a good way to relieve frustration. Not getting to play only made that worse. The next morning at breakfast, my parents had my favorite blueberry pancakes waiting. My dad apologized for laughing at me. He said he didn't think I was serious. My mom told me that if I really wanted to try out for the team, I could. They were just worried that I wouldn't be able to handle it. Handle it? Please, I'm gonna crush those boys. My dad said, it's not on the field we're worried about. I didn't know what he meant until tryouts. The playing baseball part went well. But instead of the familiar sound of Aiden pretending to broadcast my plays, there were all these other voices. Mean voices. Careful, don't want to chip a fingernail. Girls batting, bring the fielders in. Easy out, everybody. What made it worse? They even brought Aiden into it. Hey, Aiden, you're letting your sister play? Did she invite you to her tea parties? He tried to ignore them, but I could tell it bothered him. Not only was baseball not fun for me, I was ruining it for my brother too. I walked off the field. The boys called out, "That's right, softball tryouts are on the other field. May want to stop by the ladies' room on your way. Your makeup's running." Later that afternoon, I saw Aiden coming down the hall. I thought he'd be so upset with me for ruining his tryout. But instead, he gave me the biggest hug ever. "You did it," he said. "Did what?" "You made the team, Adrian." "What?" He grabbed my hand and led me to the bulletin board where the roster was posted. There it was, Adrian Alvarez. Right below, Aiden Alvarez. I was going to be able to play the game I love with the person I love. Everything was okay. For a moment. I had finally made the team. But the harassment was only beginning. The snide comments, the players patting me on my behind. It started to affect the way I played. Instead of trying to be the best, I found myself doing everything I could to not stand out. I put my hair up under my helmet so I'd blend in with the boys, and just tried to stay quiet. I didn't want to quit, but as the baseball season wore on, I couldn't wait for it to be over. Our season got even longer when we made the playoffs, and suddenly, there I was, standing at home plate with the game tied, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. As much as I had been trying to blend in, all eyes were on me now. The crowd cheered. My heart pounded. But then, everything went silent. The ball seemed to move in slow motion as it hurled toward me. For a split second, there was nothing in the world except me and that baseball. Except to me, it wasn't a baseball. It was every dismissive laugh, every harassing comment. It was everyone who ever said I was just a girl and doubted I could get to this place, to this moment. I swung as hard as I could. Crack! The ball sailed high into the air and over the fence for the game-winning homer. The crowd erupted. Aiden had the biggest smile on his face. I rounded the bases as happy as I've ever been. I was living every boy's dream. Only I wasn't a boy, and that's not how my dream ended. As I was about to step on home plate for what should have been my triumphant moment, I heard a familiar snarl from the catcher. "I can't believe we lost to a girl!" He knocked my helmet off and my hair fell. Everyone was looking at me so different than they were just seconds before. I was livid. Suddenly, that catcher's face was that baseball hurtling toward me. And just like my winning hit, the next sound I heard was a crack of my fist hitting his face. I got suspended for a month, and I deserved it. I had let my temper get the best of me. But that time away allowed me to think about how, from that point forward, I wasn't going to let anyone tell me that I couldn't do something because I was a girl, or for any other reason. And you know what? When I rejoined the team, my teammates respected me. The opposing catcher certainly respected me. And most importantly, I respected myself. Aiden started having fun again too. I was playing the game I love my way, with my hair down, having fun. So, I may not be living every boy's dream, but I'm living my dream.